Yo, what's up guys, it's Zayo here, and you guys know what time it is. New structure deck's coming out, so we gotta do that top 5 cards to get for that structure deck. And this time we got Fire Kings. There's a lot of cards that you don't really need because a lot of it is already in the structure deck. A lot of it in the lower levels like number 5 and number 4 are kind of like filler stuff, and then 3, 2, and 1 are the really important stuff that if you want to really increase your chance of winning, you should really get those. I mean, some of them aren't just cars, but like engines, but you guys will see. So I mean, let's just go for it. All right, number 5. So this one is a preemptive get now, the amphibious swarm ship ambler whale. Sorry, really weird name, but so this card is just really good. It's kind of like disruption and just like recursion in a sense. But the biggest thing that you want to do with this card is use it off the Promethean Princess, which hasn't been released yet in the TCG. So this is kind of your warning to get this card now while it's still relatively cheap, or actually probably very cheap, but get it now before the Promethean Princess comes out. The link 3 on the right, that card just extends into the Ambler Whale for free, and then it's just more disruption for your board that your opponent has a hard time interacting with in the first place. So you definitely want to get it now because you'll definitely be using it later on. All right, next one here is a little weird. It's going to be IP Masquerena with her targets, of course. So the reason why IP is kind of good in this deck is because if your opponent wants their cards destroyed, you don't want to do that for them. And a lot of the Fire King cards, they say destroy, so you got to be careful with that. So if we need some kind of other disruption, IP Masquerena is usually the easiest way to do that, with the SP Little Knights, or if you can't afford that, the Nightmare Unicorn, a great alternative option that still works for the deck. And you'll probably be having discard fodder anyways, because a lot of the Fire King monsters add themselves back to the hand or add another one to the hand. So you always have that live to discard off Unicorn on your opponent's turn. All right, number 3 here is Sunlight Wolf. And much like how Salamander uses it to add back a fire, it's just really good as a generic fire link monster, of course. So I mean, this basically just lets you recur anything you want from the graveyard. And I mean, it's a link 2. You can't go wrong with link 2s. So if you need to get something off the board, I mean, this is your way to do it. So a lot of things you could do with this, and it does work really well with the number 1 slot. It works with the combo. So, but just in general, it's just a really good card to use. I mean, Rescue Ace, I think, uses it too. So number 2 is the Dogmatica engine. So the reason why the Dogmatica engine is so good is because it is it is all 3, a starter, extender, and a go second card. So it's not as good as the number 1 slot, but we'll get into that later. But so the reason Nadir Servant is a starter is because you go Nadir Servant, send Garura, get a free draw one there, to add Dogmatica Maximus, and then you Maximus summon by banishing the Garura to then send Shureg, and then another card to get like more advantage, like Titanic Clat to then add Fluid Release and End Phase. But then the Shureg activates when it gets sent to add a level 1, because you have the Garura banished, a level 1 Beast, Wing Beast, or Beast Warrior. And Fire King starter is a level 1 Fire Wing Beast. So you kind of get the picture there. Fire King by default usually doesn't use the extra deck on its own. So as long as you play, it's okay that we don't use the extra deck. And then if you're going second, Nadir Servant can just send Elder Entity Entis, and then you pop a card for free, just like that. So it triples up. It's just really good all around, and also really cheap. Like, all these cards are just got freshly reprinted pretty much. Garura, I think, is like the most expensive out of all of these, and then Nadir Servant is like cents for like a play set now. So a really good time to pick it up. And if you don't want to pay for the number 1 pickup, then this is a really good spot to start. And then of course, number 1, it's got to be the Diabellstar engine. And of course, you would want to play wanted posters. I didn't put it there, but that's all. That would be like another $210. So you could get away with 3 Diabellstar, but it wouldn't be nearly as good. So the reason why Diabellstar is so good, obviously, is because the level 1 fire with the Fire King Ponix, but also this deck works a little differently because we don't exactly need another extender card to go a little bit further into our combo, because we can use the new Snake Eye Ash and Snake Eye Flamberge to actually get some cards back and then do a little bit extra on top of what we already want to do with Fire King. Like we could end like another IP, like in the lower parts of the list, the IP that we put in. We can actually end on IP with our usual Fire King board. And I mean, it's just really good. D-Boss is just a really good extender. It's a little bit easier and less restrictive than the Dogmatica engine, but of course it's more expensive. But it's a really good engine, and of course you can't doubt its like results. Like, this is being used everywhere in the OCG. It'll for sure be used here in the TCG. All right, guys, so that's it. I mean, those are my picks, pretty much, you know, top 5 cards / engines or whatever packages. But you know, for sure, the number 1 or 2, you have to play Dogmatica or the Diabellstar. I would highly recommend one of them. Going without them, your deck has a lot less consistency. I mean, because the Dogmatica engine adds just 3 more cards that get to a starter. Diabellstar can add up to what, like 7 more cards to a starter. So I mean, that's consistency is key. That's all I gotta say. Like, you gotta value it. And then the Sunlight Wolf, of course, pretty simple there. Then IP, just because this deck has a lot of extra deck slots. Okay, so IP is a worthwhile spot if you're gonna use one. So that's gonna be it for me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. And if you guys want to see counters for Fire King, I don't know, let me know. Do you guys want to see that? We'll see. But for now, peace out.